Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So on today's lesson I want to talk about open D tuning for slide guitar. So that tuning from the 6th string down is spelled D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Now in principle that's fantastic because wherever we move the slide it's going to sound pretty good. However, altering the tuning like that does cause us some problems when it comes to the scale shapes that we already have. When we were talking about standard tuning, you probably have shapes for the minor pentatonic and the blues scale that are already in your muscle memory. Altering the tuning like this, however, will mean that we're going to need brand new shapes. So let's go through those first before we do anything else. Now that we have our scale shapes, it'll give us an opportunity to do something in open tuning that's much more difficult in standard. In the early days of blues slide guitar, many players would play unaccompanied. That will mean that we can play a bass line with our thumb while we play the melody with the slide. It also gives me an opportunity to tell a little story. The man who taught me how to play slide was a guy called Martin Bamford. He had a horse farm and he lived in a caravan on the site, and he put an advert in the paper for blues slide guitar lessons, and I was the only person who ever answered it. His style of playing matched much more with the early blues players. So let's start with an easy pattern and let's focus in on what I'm doing with my thumb. If that's going okay, let's try alternating the bass line between the D and the A. Right, that gives us a start, but in the last segment of this video I thought it might be a good idea to put a little piece together inspired by the great blues musician Mississippi Fred McDowell. He often played in open D tuning, and like all great musicians he had a very distinctive style. But before I do, however, it did lead me to thinking, is it okay for a guy from England to be trying to play a traditional style of blues? It would be impossible to ever sound like Mississippi Fred McDowell or Robert Johnson or any of the great blues players. Their music is built from a life experience that I'm never really going to understand. But I do think, however, that every time we try to emulate them as close as we ever get, we help to continue their legacy just by enjoying their music. And their music is incredibly important. So without further ado, here's my little piece. Right, so that's it. Have fun learning that little piece. Please do look up Mississippi Fred McDowell. He's the real deal. In the next video, we'll be looking at open G tuning. So all that remains to say is thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.